With a biggity bang like 1,000 tin cans, Busby, the old school bus, came rattling down the road. He rolled over the hill to the schoolhouse, and Joe, the driver, braked him to a screeching stop. At the school crossing, the policeman held up his hand and stopped all traffic. The children climbed out of the bus and hurried into school.
That old bus sounds like he's falling apart,
the policeman called to Joe.
Busby's ready for the junkyard,
Joe agreed.
but this town will never fix him up until people find him scattered all along the road some morning.
So that's what they think of me, Busby thought. Maybe even the children are ashamed of me.
Tears misted Busby's windshield eyes, and he dropped his fenders in despair. But only for a moment. Busby had lots of spirit.
Ready for the junkyard,
he sizzled.
Not me. I know what I'll do. I'll run away.
Tears misted Busby's windshield eyes, and he drooped his fenders in despair. But only for a moment. Busby had lots of spirit. At that moment, the teacher looked out of the schoolhouse window.
Goodness gracious!
She exclaimed, wiping her glasses excitedly.
What can be happening to the old school bus? He's fairly spinning around.
Look! Look! Busby is running away!
It wasn't hard for Busby to get going, as he was parked on a little hill. With a terrific spurt, he leaped forward and started rolling down the hill. Joe, the driver, was startled.
Maybe I didn't set those brakes,
he shouted to the policeman, and dashed down the hill after Busby. But Joe couldn't catch him. The police phoned headquarters.
School bus running away. Last seen on hill by schoolhouse. Headed towards highway. Send motor police.
Busby flashed down the hill and whirled around the corner on two wheels. With a biggity bang like 1,000 tin cans, he leaped along the highway, sailed past a big bridge, and over another curve in the road.
I really am flying,
Busby chortled.
I can see everything in town from here. Goodbye. Goodbye.
He waved back, flipping his fenders. That was a terrible mistake. His fenders drooped too much to keep him sailing along. Furiously, the wind butted against him, and suddenly he pitched over a steep bank and turned a couple of somersaults. Round and round like a pinwheel he spun, and finally landed, right side up, in the middle of a field of feathery goldenrod. The fall shook him up dreadfully.
Chickadee-chug,
he groaned.
I know I'll never see the children again.
Great tears gushed from his windshield eyes, but Busby didn't realize how much the children loved him. He had been their friend for a long time. He did not know that the children had rushed home to their parents.
Busby ran away!
They cried.
He's gone!
Busby gone?
Exclaimed the fathers and the mothers.
How will you children ride to school?
Finally, someone said,
Let's go see the chief of police. He must help us find our old school bus.
The chief of police was worried. His red face grew redder, and his straight, bushy hair stood up straighter.
What more can I do? I've sent out the motor police.
We can!
Shouted the children, tugging at his coat.
Please, please, let us come and help you.
So everyone hurried down the long hill, and finally they came to the field of feathery goldenrod. At that moment, Busby was groaning in his loud distress. The motor police couldn't hear him when they whizzed by, but the children could hear him.
What is that?
They cried, cupping their hands to their ears.
It sounds like Busby.
Quickly they slid down the bank and ran into the middle of the field. And their fathers and mothers and Joe and the chief of police came after them.
Here he is!
The children shouted.
Good old Busby!
Joyously they crowded around him.
Good old Busby.
echoed the mothers.
Whatever would we do without him?
He's a good old bus.
Agreed the fathers.
Listen to his motor, still running.
He's a wonderful old bus. Let's have a town meeting. Let's see if this town will vote to fix Busby up as good as new.
Everyone came to the town meeting. When the question was asked,
Shall we make Busby as good as new?
everyone shouted.
Yes, yes, yes!
The wrecking car came and towed Busby from the field of feathery goldenrod to a great big garage. Soon Busby, shining like a marigold in the sun, was a wonderful sight to behold. Today, Busby spins joyfully over the top of the hill when he carries the children to school.
Never again,
He hums gaily.
will I go biggity-bang like 1,000 tin cans.